What's up guys, my name is ESO and welcome back to the channel. I have something I thought would be really interesting to show you guys today. Obviously this video has spoilers for the Far Harbor DLC. Today we're going to be finding out one of the branching story paths that is possible if you report the synths in Far Harbor to the Institute. I thought it was really worth making a video on because a lot of people won't pick this choice because it does bring a premature ending to the DLC. But it is interesting to watch and now you can. And I also just want to say, I think it's really well played by Bethesda for this kind of depth to the story branches. So firstly, let's talk to Dima.
I'm just gonna tell you right now, Dima. I'm in the Institute.
That's quite an admission to make. I'm used to the Institute striking from the shadows. I'll say this to you. I'm not your enemy. I only wish to live here, in peace, with my people. As a scientist, can you not see the value of independent synth life? You have a chance here to witness how wondrous that could be. All you have to do is do nothing. Don't tell your fellow researchers about us. Don't tell them we're here.
I don't suppose there's any way you and your people would return to the Institute peacefully.
I appreciate the offer. I do, actually. No one wants bloodshed, but we can't go back. And I'm not going to hide. If you want us, fine. But we'll fight for this. For Acadia's existence. Consider my offer. Don't say anything. What have you got to lose? Now, did you need anything else?
Now rather interestingly, there's no option within the quest that you can even turn the synths into the Institute, other than what was said in the conversation. So it's kind of like an unmarked quest. So now we're going to go back to the Commonwealth and back to the Institute, and then we're going to talk to some of the researchers there. So once you're here, head over to the Advanced Systems Department. That's the one with the blue icon above the door. We can find William here, who seems to be the only employee that has the time to help us. He's the one wearing the blue lab coat. If you don't find him inside here, just wait a few hours and he'll probably be there.
Yes?
I have several projects going right now, but one more shouldn't be an issue.
I need to talk to someone about a situation up north.
Pleasure to meet you. William Mosley, Advanced Systems. I'm happy to help in whatever capacity I can. I hope I don't disappoint.
What's your story, William?
Me? I've been acting as a sort of liaison between Advanced Systems and the SRB for a few years now. Doctors Lee and Ao didn't really get along, as I'm sure you can imagine. It worked better if someone could sort of bridge the gap. Anyway, I'm just here, trying to do my part.
Ever had a problem with a courser going missing?
Besides the one you're responsible for eliminating? Sorry, that was... I mean, we're fine with that. It's okay that happened. Anyway, yes. It's very rare, but it has happened. I take it you found something. Give me as much information as you have.
They have a former courser helping them.
Well, that borders on horrifying. This certainly sounds like something the SRB needs to look into. What else can you tell me?
There are a good number of them already, and they're actively looking for more.
Definitely concerning. Individuals aren't that difficult to reclaim, but large groups are trickier. It's a good thing you brought this to my attention. Is there anything else?
They've holed up in an old observatory. Looks like a fortified location.
So, an effort to reclaim them has been anticipated. All right. Okay, I've heard enough. This clearly needs our attention, but being up north is going to be difficult to deal with. You know what would make this easier? If we had their recall codes. That would help minimize asset loss. We can put together a response to this, but not immediately. The more data we have, the better. Sounds like sending in a courser isn't an option right now. But if you've already made contact and they trust you, learn whatever you can about them. I'll talk to Advanced Systems about recalibrating the relay and putting a team together.
What do you know about a synth calling himself Dima?
The designation isn't ours. I know that much. I'm afraid I don't know anything. This is all very frustrating. Is there anything else you can tell me?
He claims to be unique. Some kind of prototype, maybe?
I suppose that's possible, but... well, I'd have to look through archived records to learn more.
He looks like he's been heavily modified.
Self-modification? We've never run into problems with that in the history of the program. At least, not that I'm aware of.
He looks like one of the older models. Not human at all.
Not a third generation? I'm not sure what to make of that. The personality matrices for earlier synths were so limited.
That's all I can tell you.
Well, okay. I feel like a bit of a broken holotape here, but the more information you can bring me, the better.
There's still the issue of this girl, Kasumi. She thinks she's a synth.
I can tell you that she's not one of ours. I mean, if she's a synth, obviously she belongs to the Institute, but I have no record of an asset deployed with that identity. I suppose it's possible that someone else meddled with Institute property. Certainly wouldn't be the first time. I'm sorry, I can't tell you more. If you can verify that she's one of ours, let me know, all right?
I'm on it.
I'll make sure you get whatever support you need.
Now, before we head back to Far Harbor, let's just analyse this conversation quickly. In the conversation we had with William, he mentions the SRB. That stands for Synth Retention Bureau. The Bureau employs completely obedient Generation 3 synths, known as coursers, and they're responsible for tracking down and retrieving escaped synths. Now, lore-wise, we know that Dima was an early generation synth, and also a prototype from the Institute. Without spoiling too much, the reason Dima is heavily modified is this. After escaping the Institute, he spent about a year in a cave hiding from them, until he realised that he could actually choose his own path in life. After that, he moved to the nuclear submarine, and later founded Acadia. Acadia, of course, is a massive observatory with a mass computer data storage system, and of course he realised that he could modify himself to store more of his memories. After you've progressed the main story in Far Harbor far enough, you will get the quest Forbidden Legend. This quest will then tell you to come and find William here in Far Harbor. It's just here on the map.
Operating at full capacity.
Good to see you again. So, the current situation. The relay has been modified to reach this far, but it's taking an awful lot of power. But we should be ready to go. Just waiting on your orders, sir.
What exactly is the plan?
Same as any other retrieval op, really. Just on a larger scale. Coursers go in with synth backup and subdue any escaped synths. Resistance is met with force. So, are we clear?
There must be some other way to handle this.
It's a little late to be second-guessing things now, don't you think? We'll repurpose all of them, don't worry, but you didn't answer the question.
It's time. We need to move on Acadia now.
Right. We'll get the relay fired up then.
And now our attack on the Institute begins. Now, this is a rather bleak and aggressive end to Arcadia's existence, and it does not really deal with the issues we encountered on the island. In fact, it only deals with them partly. Both Far Harbor and the Children of Atom are still at war, and without proper maintenance of the fog condensers, they'll fail, allowing the fog to surely sweep through Far Harbor and kill its residents. After you're done wiping out the inhabitants of Arcadia, just talk to William for one last time.
Well, that about wraps things up, doesn't it? They should be ready to receive this bunch back at the Institute. It looks like they can be salvaged, thankfully. Odds are, most of them will be back at work before you know it, with no recollection of any of this nasty business. Couldn't have done this without you. Great work, really.
Dima is some sort of prototype. What's gonna happen to him?
That'll be up to someone else. But I'd guess it will be taken apart and looked over. See if we can find the initial malfunction.
Hey, you know me. Always glad to enslave the little guy.
I mean, it's not really enslaving. We're just getting them back to what they were built for. I'll be heading back now. Guess I'll see you around. Institute, this is Dr. Mosley. We've got things wrapped up here. Commence relay back home.
So this is most definitely not a peaceful ending. But if you guys did enjoy this video, please give it a like. That's a good way to let me know that I should make more story discussion videos like this one. There are of course other alternate endings, such as the Brotherhood and the Railroad endings, which are also pretty obscure. You can find links to those endings in the description, so make sure you check them out, because they're also really interesting. And of course you can subscribe to the channel for more future lore story videos. Thanks again for watching guys, my name is ESO and I will see you, loyal subscriber, in the next Fallout 4 video. Goodbye!